Hey everybody, how's it going? A lot of people will leave comments in my comments section that I think are a little melodramatic, or they'll say, this is the end of Apple, or Apple needs to change, and if they don't change, this is going to happen, or they need to start listening to their customers, or they can't act like this. And that's often in reference to certain practices that they have. Whether it was CBC News showing that they wanted $1,200 to $1,900 to fix a machine that could have been fixed with bending a pin back with tweezers, or whether it's with chips like the ISL 9240, where they take last year's charge chip, they change one small thing that seemingly relates to communicating with the rest of the machine, and then they tell the company, oh yeah, you know how last year's charge chip was available to people? Make sure this one's not available to people, so that nobody can buy that chip, so that if your $5,000 machine dies, your only option to fix it is $1,500 with Apple. People will have a visceral response to these videos and say, Apple needs to change. They need to change. They need to turn around. People are waking up and becoming aware of this. And I disagree with you entirely. I also disagree with people who say that what Apple's doing is actually wrong for their business. Let's take a look at this piece of news that just came across recently in one of my live streams. Someone linked me to this. Apple shares hit a new all-time high Thursday, 1:11 p.m. and reached a closing price of $300 following yesterday's New Year's holiday, marking significant growth over the course of last year. They're talking about how in January 2019, shares were at $144, and now it's closing at $300 just a year later. You can see the comments here. Tim Cook may be in a running for the best CEO of all time. For you haters, Tim Cook has now added $1 trillion in shareholder value. And absolutely mind-numbing. Wow, thank you, Tim and team. He is the sole responsible for Apple's stellar efficiency and profitability. Here's the thing. If a company does something that you find to be atrocious, whether it's how they deal with their customers, how they deal with repair, how they deal with sustainability, how they deal with the durability of their products, and they're rewarded by a near doubling of their stock price in a year, that's not the kind of thing that makes people reconsider their actions. If I do something that is bad, and then I get 5 bad Yelp reviews, and as a result of those 5 bad reviews, people who walk in are a little skeptical as to whether they're going to spend money, that's probably going to change how I act. However, if I decide I'm going to change the way we do business, I'm going to shake things up a little bit, I'm going to change our internal procedures and policies, and then I wind up reaching an all-time high in my valuation, and I'm worth twice as much as I was last year, that may cause me to continue going down that path. Why should Apple change if their valuation has done this as a result of what they do? Because people in the company may raise their hand and go, excuse me, why is it that we're making a product with a chip that nobody can buy for something as basic as charging, so that when it breaks, they have no options to fix it besides us at $1,500 and no retrieval of their data? Is this really who we are? If anybody at the company actually raises their hand and asks these genuinely interesting questions that I think could use answers, they're going to get laughed at and shut down by dozens upon hundreds upon thousands of people who are going to say, what the F does it matter? Why the F should anyone listen to you? We're worth twice now than we were 12 months ago. STFU, and get back in your chair, fucking noob. Why should they change? Are they doing anything wrong? Are they actually doing anything wrong? They're valued twice now. Wow. And I don't understand where the valuation comes from. Just looking at the 10K over here, net income, one of those stats that matters to me as a small business owner, it looks like their net income is something that was higher in 2018 than it was in 2019. Their 2019 net income seems actually fairly close to their 2015 net income. Equity and the value of all the stuff in this company seems like it's down now from where it was a few years ago. So don't get me wrong, I don't understand the valuation whatsoever. This is just seems like just a bunch of low interest rate Fed money printing screwery over here that is causing so many people to throw so much money into the stock market and invest so much into companies like this. But regardless of what it is that causes the company to be worth that much, why would they change their attitude towards anything if it works? I personally don't think that they're going to change until there's a serious hit in their stock price as a result of the way they treat customers, or the way they treat independent repair, or the way they treat sustainability. But that's probably not going to happen. Even when their net income is less than last year, they're valued more. Even when their equity goes down, they're valued more. Even when their actual sales numbers appear to go down in certain items, they're valued more. Because when it comes to things like sales numbers, it seems like they used to report, we sold this amount of units, now it's we made this much revenue. It seems like a blanket way of saying we were not able to sell as much this year. But the market doesn't seem to care. And I'm not sure why. A lot of the stuff that I say, when I say that when I try to not screw people, it's not even because I'm a nice person or a kind person or a moral or ethical person. It's simply a business strategy because I believe that not screwing people will, in the long term, bring you more revenue. There's a good chance that that's wrong. Because there's a lot of comments in that CBC video where they go, I can't believe you would bend the pin back for free. We replaced the cable at $150, and if people are too broke for that, something's likely wrong if you have a $3,000 or $6,000 device and can't afford $150 on it, where you're going to appreciate that I gave you at least the option of the more ghetto repair of just bending a piece of copper back with tweezers, to where I think in the long term, you're going to recommend more people to my business. You're going to remember me when your hard drive starts clicking. You're going to remember me when your friend's aunt's phone with all of their kids' pictures on it goes for a swim, and that's going to cause me more income. Not screwing people is actually a better business model than screwing them. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not.